How are you getting on, folks? Look at, I think overall today just wasn't our day. Didn't really go too well to plan, and everything just started to, I suppose, boil over more so than anything else. Very poor day for overall profit, but look at hopefully it's just a little bit of a rut where we've gotten into, and we should be able to get ourselves out of it fairly soon. Navan tomorrow, it's a very interesting card. There certainly does look to be a little bit of profit, not a hell of a lot. There's an awful lot of these short price favourites that I would be expecting to come in, and there is going to be a couple of no bets. But overall, it's a poor day for trying to back winners. Really, it's as simple as that. There's not really anything, I suppose, down the field that's really has anything going for us that might be a big springer in the market. But I certainly think, look at it, it could be a day where we get, I suppose, plenty of short price winners more so than anything else. First off, though, the 11:30 we are going to go with Yukon Lil at even money. This one here certainly looks to be the most likely winner. It was a very impressive winner in Cork, if I'm not mistaken. Last time out, it was actually the day. It was the day where we landed a serious amount of winners in Cork. Yukon Lil was very impressive that day. Gave us a bit of a scare coming up to 2 from home, but I think overall the natural improvement should see this mare go on to bigger and better things. Like she's definitely well bred for this sort of game. She's definitely got plenty of pucks of ability and everything else. Overall, I certainly think that she is great value there at even money, and I would be suggesting to get on board while the price is still there. I don't think you're going to be getting it tomorrow. She deserves to go off odds on in this particular field, especially. Like it's not the, I wouldn't say it's not the best of field, because it is a decent field, but I certainly think that she is a class above most of these, and she should be able to put class to good use. 12 o'clock then, we're not going to spend too much time on it. It's my patron pick of the day. 12:30 we are going to go with Flanking Maneuver at 5-4. This one here, I know it's a sharp price, but look at it. It looks to be the most interesting of the lot of them. Coming from a yard in farm, and I think it's Henry de Bromhead's. It's certainly got plenty of ability. It's either Henry de Bromhead's now or Noel Meads. I could be. It's certainly one of the two. Anyway, I'm just not 100% sure, but definitely this Flanking Maneuver certainly does take an awful lot of these boxes. It was a very good winner last time out. It should be able to come on for that, and it should be able to, I suppose, it sets the bar reasonably high. I know Gordon Elliott has a nice pint-to-pinter coming in here, fresh from a win in the pint-to-pint scene, and there's a nice one. I'm nearly sure it's Noel Meads, because Henry de Bromhead has a nice sort in here as well. I think it cost 175,000 in the sales. It's well bred, but I certainly think that they will need to improve a hell of a lot than what they've shown, or what they're, how would you say it? Like, this newcomer for Henry de Bromhead would need to be a class above, and he would need to be nearly better than his price tag to match this Flanking Maneuver. So it's definitely interesting, and it should be a great value bet there at 5-4. 1 o'clock we're not going to be having a bet. Bob Ollinger should be well capable of running away with this field. 1:35 then, the nap of the day for me, Holy Macapony at 2-1. This one here certainly looks to be great value. I know it's a very competitive heat, but we are yet to see anything really push Holy Macapony's buttons. It was a very good winner in some pint-to-pint. I'm not 100% sure where the pint-to-pint was, but it was an impressive winner. I think it was 7 lengths that particular day, but it was backed up then in Punchestown, if I'm not mistaken. Very impressive winner. I think it was around 8 to 10 lengths that particular day. Beat a fairly well fancied Willie Mullins sort. This one here could be absolutely anything. We could be looking at we don't know how good this particular horse is going to be. And I'd rather I suppose, back my knowledge of going into the unknown rather than, I suppose, backing a horse down the field and hoping for a bit more improvement. Now, if I was going to be backing anything, I'd probably be going towards either Fakira or Gabi Naku. Them two certainly look to relish this sort of ground and should be well capable of putting up a fairly decent run at these bigger odds, but I definitely think you'd be fairly hard up now going against Holy Macapone with the way it won the last time out, especially in a track where it's going to be really suited to this particular horse. Finally, or not finally, then the 210, we are going to be going with King Alex here for Barry Connell and Mark Bulger, currently priced around 7-2, and for me this one here looks to be the next best of the day. I really can't see a horse to trouble it. It's going for 4-timer on the bounce. It was a very, very impressive winner in Navan, not last time out but the time before. Even when the conditions didn't suit him last time out in Fairyhouse, he still managed to hack up. I think it was a 5 or 6 length winner, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, I definitely think that he's still well ahead of the handicapper, and he should be well capable of running a fairly decent race. The ground is there to suit. Barry Connell's in flying form. He knows exactly where to, I suppose, place the horse and where to bring the horse should he need to try and find a decent opportunity, and definitely this one here certainly looks to be a very interesting sort. 245 then, I am very, very much drawn to Island Mahi at 8-1 as an each way perspective in this one. It's a very competitive heat. I think Island Mahi, it was second in Thurles at 66-1, if I'm not mistaken. It was third last time out. I think it was 8-1. And I think the form overall has been boosted a couple of times since. Coming from the Crawford Yard, obviously, look at, they had the bumper winner there today. They've had a few winners earlier on in the week as well. I definitely think it's an interesting move. It should be well capable of running a fairly decent race. I think it's Ben Crawford as well that's on board. I could be wrong in that though. There's a couple of Crawford horses in here, but I certainly think it's definitely well worth considering, and it should be well capable of running a fairly decent race in this sort of ground now tomorrow. Finally then, the 320, no bet. Sir Gerhard is going to absolutely hack up here. The second favourite, the unbeaten Gavin Cromwell horse, name's gone out of my head, but it's an interesting sort, but it will need to improve massively to match Sir Gerhard tomorrow. It's definitely going to be a nice little ding-dong battle, but you're going to have to really improve to even match Sir Gerhard tomorrow, considering the fact that he has been tipped up since in around early June for the champion bumper favourite, so it's certainly got plenty of potential, more so than anything else, and we don't really know how well these two horses are, we don't really know how much more these two horses up at the top of the market are going to improve, but definitely the most likely to improve more and to improve into a better horse is Sir Gerhard. But at 2-5, you'd want to be making money. You'd want to nearly be picking money out of the trees to be betting at that sort of a price. But I'm going to leave it there. Like I already said, for the 12 o'clock race, there is a patron tip in there. We're going fairly decent form overall in the Irish race, and now we've hit a bit of a bad old patch now for the last couple of days. We're down over the last couple of days, but overall we're in profit for 14 of the last 17 days, so that's still a fairly decent strike rate. I'm still very happy with that. I think overall we're in profit by 42.5 points or something in along them lines. So it's definitely well worth getting on board. It's only a tenner a month. It helps out the Irish Race and our podcast, which we air every Sunday, just generally to benefit the people in the Irish racing industry, more so behind the scenes than anything else. But there are some very, very good guests coming up, especially coming up to Christmas. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. If you are going to be having a bet, look at Navan tomorrow. It doesn't look to be a great day for betting. I wouldn't necessarily be going head over heels, or I wouldn't be going too heavy in. But hopefully, it's definitely going to produce a couple of winners just to get the confidence back. Like I said, please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you want to join up the Patreon, I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, if you're going to be having a bet, the very best of luck tomorrow. Thanks very much.